Today we are going to be building a Ryzen 5 9600X paired with an RTX 3060 Ti PC. We're going to go through step by step on what it takes to build a PC of this nature, and then tomorrow I'm actually going to do, if you're not aware, this is actually a live stream turned YouTube video. I'll test this exact PC out tomorrow to see how those specs would handle. So we're going to go through and just start from component to component, kind of give you a brief idea or vision of what you would have to do to build a PC of this nature. And then, like I said, tomorrow we'll end up testing it out. Interesting information. So previously I had done a build with chat, my viewers, that I said, you guys can pick out the components and we'll put it together. And I was doing it with a 9600X. Well, the problem was that motherboard socket actually got bent. Let me show you really quickly here. So let me make sure everyone can see this. We had a motherboard here. If you look in right here, the socket pins actually got bent. So we were really out of luck when it came to that build. I thought I was gonna have to go and spend more money because this is actually a PC that I'm giving away. I've got a newsletter. I update people on the upcoming content on there, but I also, anybody that's subscribed in the United States over 18, they get entered in to win a PC biannually. And this PC was actually gonna be the PC I was giving away. Meant I have to go out and buy another motherboard. However, we were really blessed. We've got a friend in my community that wanted to do a trade. He posed it that way, but he just wanted to give me stuff. I knew what it was. So we traded out my 9070 XT for a behemoth of a graphics card. Oh my gosh, I don't know if you guys can see this. It's so heavy. This is a 7900 XTX. And on top of trading me for that, he just gave me a motherboard because he was actually the previous winner of the PC giveaway. He won a Ryzen 5 7500F, 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM, and he traded his friend some stuff or purchased it from them, but he ended up getting a new motherboard and he's like, I'm not gonna use that. I have no clue if it's nice or anything like that. So he just gave it to me, which is crazy and way too nice of him, but I'm grateful for it. So this is actually gonna be going inside the giveaway PC. It's unbelievably nice. This is such a nice motherboard, and we're gonna get to see it powered up today. I don't know what part lights up or anything, but it has 4 different M.2 slots, 1 here, 3 underneath here. This is a very premium board, so I'm excited to build with this. But yeah, that's gonna be the purpose of this whole video. Build it, get it on, and then tomorrow we'll do some testing with it. So let's go ahead and get that building process started. I'm gonna be engaging with chat throughout the video as well, so let's get into it. And yeah, some of the video, I don't have the ability to edit these videos. I don't have the time. I have a 3-month-old son, a 2-year-old, about to be 3-year-old daughter. I run a business outside of this that provides for my family. So like, I was making videos and trying to make them often, but it's hard for me to burn the candle at both ends. So at this point, we're just kind of sticking with streaming and going through and uploading these videos. So there might be some downtime in them where like you guys are like, he won't be quiet, he won't stop talking, just get to what I care about. Please just fast forward to the parts you care about. Or if you like me, then hang out. I'm fine either way. It does not hurt my feelings if you skip parts. So just wanted to throw that out there. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna bring chat over so I can view them. I'm gonna get the PC case out of the way, and I'll just kind of break down for you guys how I typically will build a PC and the steps that I'll take to make it easiest and I guess safest for you to do so. And hopefully we didn't fry this 9600X when we were building our other PC that had the bent stuff on it. So let me move you guys over really quick, position you down. We'll talk about how we're doing things, why we're doing things, and I'm also gonna bring chat over so I can interact with them. If you build it, they will come. Also, you guys, some big news. We're gonna have a friend come over in the stream on Thursday. So I'm excited for that. In fact, he might be in the chat right now. Hey party people, triple slot baby. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, this one right here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, those are Gen 5 too. Usually you don't see that here. I don't know if you guys can see that on here. The NVMe's down here. Usually when you go to like the 2nd and 3rd or 4th or whatever's on there, it's not Gen 5, but this is Gen 5, so very cool. You prefer my live streams? That's awesome. Thank you for saying that, because I know some people don't want that. They want the polished version, which I get. Hold on, guys. I want to read what some of these people have said really quickly. I'm kind of in a hard situation because you have a 5600X and a 3070 with a 600 watt power supply. I want to get a 9070 or 5070, but some say I got to get 750 watts. Oh, so that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to swap out the power supply. Yes, if you have a 600 watt power supply, that will not give you enough power for the 9070 XT. I have been a daily user. Oh, whoops. Let me put this a little better for you guys. I've been a daily user of a 97 XT for probably a year at this point. And that card will pull like 280 watts or more, sometimes close to 300. So that's not a very good angle, is it, guys? That's probably better. And what about a normal 9070 or 5070? They still pull a lot of power. 600 watts is not enough for anything above like the 5050 model. Yeah, Oris boards are awesome. So yes, Thursday, you guys. So I'll talk about some of these things as I go through. When you put a CPU in, which is generally the first step that I take, obviously you have to unlatch. I'm gonna use this one. This one's nicer, I believe. I'm getting some thermal paste, so give me a second, guys. You have to release this latch here. Why is this still? Man, I am the world's worst at positioning things. Maybe I need to come back up some. There we are. All right, guys. That should be better. So that's still not great, is it? I don't love it. What if we do this? There? Huh? Yeah, that's better. Okay, cool. So whenever you go through, you want to unlatch this. And this, I understand, is wrong. The person that gave me this just put this in here to protect the socket itself. So we're going to... Oh, that's right. It'll pop out. So when you have an AM5 motherboard, I haven't done a new one in a while, you remove this clip right here. It'll just push down and swing out, pull it back, and then you pull this up. This one has great sockets, so we shouldn't have any problem. The camera angle is good, sweet. So all you do is you locate the triangle on the CPU itself. This is for AM5, pretty much every CPU too. And then there will be a triangle on the motherboard, generally. Is there not on this one? Oh yes, there is, okay. So right here, you can see a triangle up in this top corner. That is how you're supposed to align it. So triangle with triangle. So I'm gonna take this triangle right here, put it into this corner. So you just drop it in. And unlike the last build, this fit in there nicely. So as I mentioned before, on the last build, we had pin damage. And it wasn't going in flat. And I ended up making it worse. And I believe it's because this motherboard is warped. You guys might, I don't want to damage this, but you guys might not be able to see it, but there's like some bend in here. I know that's kind of fuzzy. But yes, so big news while I'm yammering on here. He's actually in the stream right now. I'm gonna call him out here because he's gonna be here with me. Buddy is going to be joining me on Thursday. You guys might see him as Buddy Builds Official there. And we are gonna have a build off. So he's gonna be coming over. We're both going to be building a Ryzen 5 5500 and a 2060, and we're going to see, we haven't officially made the rules yet, but I think we're going to see who can get it to power on first. So next step on an AM5, whoops, sorry, knocked you over there. Next step is you want to push this back down. And then this is going to seem really odd and counterintuitive. You're going to put more force than you think, but what happens is when you push this pin down and latch it, this top part is going to pop off. So I'm going to bring it back in, push it under. This now has gone off. It exposes the top of the CPU. From there, I'm gonna actually wait to apply thermal paste simply because I have the AIO cooler. I might have to use a different cooler though, because I don't know if I have the right screws for that. Hold on guys, I need to verify something before I make a big mistake, because I might need to use one of the other coolers I've got. Let me see if these fit in here. Do these screws go? These will work. Okay. That should be fine. So it's just regular screws then. Okay. Yeah, so we're good. So I'm going to wait to apply the thermal paste. What we're going to do then is apply the RAM. As far as RAM goes, when you go to place it in, you're always going to place it in 2 and 4. They work in tandem with each other. So there's 2 different channels. There's A and B. I don't know the exact reasoning. I used to know it, but Most people recommend that you do 2 and 4 if you're going to do a dual, 2 if you're going to do the single. I think it's because those are supposed to be the strongest. Someone's going to correct me in here and tell me why. As the Backstreet Boys would ask, tell me why. But when you go to place the RAM in there, it can only go in one way. So when you go to place it, you're going to place it between the 2 holes. And here, you can see that this is not right because it's leaning up. I can't push this in here, so don't force it. If it does not go into the slot where this little hole is, it's not going to work. So we reposition it, put it in there, and now it should be an alignment, is it? Yes, it is. So from there, once you can feel like it's kind of in, just take and press on both sides. And if you were better at it, both would usually snap at the same time. So, JFAT, how's it going? Hi. Leaving some headroom from those peaks is wise, in your opinion? Oh, here we go. Someone said something. 600 watts, I use 600 watts to drive a 4090. Holy cow. Holy moly, you use 600 watts with that. Even 9070 XT would work with 600 watts. Yeah, so I'm the opposite. Normally I tell people it's cool, just do what you gotta do, but I used a 9070 XT and I used a 750 watt. 650 watt, maybe, but I wouldn't. So on this particular motherboard, like I said, this is a higher end motherboard. Normally there'd be a screw here to access this spot. This is where our NVMe SSD is gonna go. It's really nice though. All you have to do is push this latch and pull out. Oh, this was stuck on there. This was a previously used motherboard, so there was some stickiness on it, but that's okay. So to put your NVMe in, I'll show you guys this way. It's just kind of like RAM. There's a little groove in here. All you want to do is find the spot over here, and it should line up. So you can see that there are, this is hard to hold. So there are some grooves in here. This spot right here, you see where that little hole is. We're going to line up our NVMe with that and place it in there. Like so. If I can get this in here. There we go. Now, when you place it in there, it is going to dangle up like so. Depending on the motherboard, you may have to push this down and then screw it. This particular motherboard, again, is a higher end motherboard. So there is a latch here that all I have to do is push it down and it will hold it. And then the reason they have things like this to go over it is for thermal protection, which in my experience has never really made that big of a difference or mattered. Most of it is for aesthetics though. So we're gonna place this back on. If I could figure out how to. Okay. This is such a nice looking motherboard. All right, so this is pretty much the basic of every single PC build. Is you're going to start off with the CPU, the RAM, and then the SSD. Whether the SSD goes here does make a difference because sometimes you do a SATA SSD and that gets powered through a cable, usually through a SATA slot like this over here. Whoops. From there, depending on the type of cooler that you're using, usually you would apply thermal paste, and if it's a fan cooler, you would go ahead and apply it now. Because we're using an AIO that's already attached to the PC, we're gonna hold off on that. So the next step would probably be putting it into the case. So let's go ahead and do that really quick. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the case, move some things up, and do that for you guys. All right, move you guys on up a little bit. We're gonna grab the case. I guess I don't need to go too high because I'm gonna be putting the case down and putting the motherboard in it. The second and fourth are preferred because it has to do with signals not being reflected back. There you go, there's the answer. Definitely get a 750, 850 watt with your GPU upgrade. I run an overkill 1300 watt. Holy moly, 5900X is pretty strong though. The overhead is like, it's a thing, but it's not that much of a thing. Okay. In fact, I think I'm gonna bring you guys up so that you can see a little better here. I think I can get away with leaving that there. Yeah, let's go ahead and prop you guys up some more. So we're gonna go up. Excuse the stuff going on. Hopefully I'll keep you guys in vision while I do this. But we're gonna go up to the spot where you can see above the case and build inside of it. I hope you're all doing okay today. was sick last week. I think it was probably COVID or some kind of respiratory. And now my breathing is completely screwed up and it's very unfun. All right. There we go. Nice. All right. So next we're going to go ahead and place the motherboard in here. I actually do need to grab some screws first. And it's very important that you know where the motherboard, oh man, I'm out of breath and my brain is fried. It's important that you know where the motherboard actually, someone help me out. What's the word I'm looking for? The motherboard, it's not connectors. Man, my brain is shot right now. I'm actually going to lower this down some too. This is too high for me. So I'll bring you guys down some too and you can be able to see it. Standoffs, that's what it is. A standoff, guys. Wow, that was way too hard. That was much harder than it should have been. A standoff should not have been that hard for me to figure out the word of. All right, hold on, friends. You're gonna come down here. Little bumpy. Standoffs, yes, yep, yeah. It took me too long to get there. But yeah, so last week my kids came home, or my daughter came home, I assume, with something that was respiratory, and now I'm having the most difficult time just breathing sentences in my mouth. So what you want to do when you're building these is you want to identify where the screws are in them. So, you know, you can see here like the points that it's going to require you to put screws in. And something I'll say that a lot of people may not agree with is you don't always have to do all of them. If you're doing like 6 of 8 or something like that, you're probably okay. I know some people might not agree with that, but don't like over concern yourself thinking, oh, I've only done like 5 of the 6 that are in here. This is going to fall apart. It's not going to. So I think we're okay on this. You also want to make sure these standoffs, that they're in the correct place. So with this particular case, this is kind of a weird case. It's like a floating motherboard spot. We've got these 3 up here, 3 here, and then 3 down there. I think this motherboard actually has room for all 3 if we wanted to do all 9. But you want to make sure that there's not a standoff somewhere where there's not a hole in the motherboard because it can potentially bend or damage the motherboard. So let me verify that one more time on here. Yeah, we've got all 9 of those. So when you go to grab these motherboards, if you have a cooler, you can grab it by there. If you have these huge VRMs, you can grab it by that. Usually what I'll do is kind of like put my hands on the sides, like so, and then guide it in. So you'll take that motherboard, bring it down, and then you'll take and slide it on over. This is kind of hard because of the fan that's in here. I might have to take it out actually because this VRM is massive. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Oh, I think we got it. Now, one thing that's important to note, yeah, everything went in, cool. Did I get on any cables on accident? I don't think so. One thing that is important to note when you're placing in the motherboard, should be good. This one's so weird because it like floats. One important thing to note is if you have an IO shield, so let me show you guys really quickly. I'll pull you off here. If you have an IO shield, so it's generally something that goes on the back of your motherboard here. It would look something like this. So like see right here, there's not an attachment. You have to have, wherever it is, oh, right here. Usually if you have a lower end or mid end board, you'll have to put this on and then slide the motherboard into it. This particular motherboard we have though is a very nice one that has it built in. So make sure you put that in before you go ahead and put the motherboard in, because if you do the wrong order, you're gonna have to completely redo it. So from here, you'll just take and screw in everything. It happens, you're on stream and focused on many things right now. Yeah, there are a lot of things that happen. It's a lot. So from there, you just want to go ahead and place your screws into all of the, I'm actually going to make sure these are the right screws before I get too deep into this. I have so many screws. I don't think, oh, that did work. Okay. I have so many screws and like, I don't have them labeled or in proper places. So I literally have to just like guess sometimes if it's the right kind of screw that will fit in the motherboard. Okay, that'll work. So yes, from there, again, obviously we're just going to be screwing this in to make sure it's secure. I am going to place, these are just tips and tricks that I've found. This screw over here in this corner, there's a top one up here in the left. I don't know if I can show you guys very well. Right down here is miserable. Actually, I could probably zoom in on it for you really quick. Right here. See, that screw is almost impossible to get to unless you have a strong screwdriver that's like magnetic or something. So sometimes, again, some people aren't going to agree with me. I just don't bother with that one. Some people might disagree. Some people might say it's going to make your motherboard fall out. That's just how I am, though. You got an old socket, a PC off eBay last year, and in shipping the nearly 25-year-old cases, standoffs, nearly all of them snapped off. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you can get new standoffs. New standoffs are fine. They're actually pretty easy to put on. All right, I need to find a couple more screws, and then we will be rocking and rolling with this build. Oh my gosh. Here we go. All right, does this one fit? That one's probably not going to fit. I've had to, over time, like figure out which types of screws actually go in there too, because they all look so similar. I think this one will go in. Cool. Yeah, they can break off. 100% they can break off. So from there, we've got that in. Also, who was it that asked? Peaky. I'll show you how to do the power supply here in a minute. That way you can get an understanding that if you want to take it out or put it in, what the level of difficulty will be for you. Oh, there's a thing in here. I'm going to get that out real quick. How much were all the parts? That's a really good question. I don't really buy a lot of things outright, if I'm going to be honest with you guys. Most of the things I've acquired are either from trading or finding them on ridiculously crazy sales. In the medium iFixit kit, there's a flexible screwdriver. That's something I need, yes. In fact, maybe you should link that so I can check it out. But as far as like if you were to build this PC yourself and go out and buy these parts, I might have to take that out really quick to get to that. A PC like this, so the 9600X right now is, I think it's like 170 or 180. I'm only using 16 gigs of DDR5 RAM, so I'm actually going to give this PC away on my newsletter. If you guys want to sign up for that, I think I've got it linked in the description. I'm only using 16 gigs. I have to get a new 16 gig kit because this is my personal, but 16 gig of RAM is like $140 or something stupid at this point. So I mean, you're looking at what, like $320 to $350 at that point, and then a motherboard, you can get a cheap B650 for, I was looking because I had to replace that one. You can get it for about $80. This is not going in properly. This is a weird one. How do I get this in? There we go. Okay. That was more difficult than I would have liked. So what is that, like probably 400 bucks? And then from there, I need to do another screw up there. From there, power supply. A power supply you can probably get for like $80. So 480. Case, another 50. And then you need a cooler of some kind. So you can get away with just a cheap tower cooler on a 9600X. They don't run that hot. I used the 9600X for like probably 5 or 6 months personally. Come here, screw. Yeah, I don't know. You could probably build a PC of similar nature, and then the 3060 Ti is $220 or so. You could probably build this PC for like probably like $750 to $800 would be my guess. Okay, cool. That's everything. Next, do you have a Discord server or something? YouTube doesn't allow links in chat. I'm pretty sure it's allowed in DMs. You can type the name of the server. You don't need a link. I don't have a Discord. Perhaps at some point that's something I need to consider. Yeah, I don't have a Discord. That's strange. So we're gonna go ahead and put some thermal paste on here. So I'm just gonna do, oh no, that's not enough. We're gonna have to open up a new tube, and I think someone might have to look this up for me, but I don't think you can mix thermal paste. Wait, no, it's the same brand. Okay, we're good. It's the same brand. We're all good. Just grabbing some thermal paste really quickly, guys. All right, a little bit more because that was not quite enough. There we are. Some people do things differently on thermal paste. You can buy thermal paste that comes with a spreader. That's really nice. You can buy thermal paste that comes with, you know, some of it's like applied already on whatever you're using. We might only have 3 screws for this, which is unfortunate, but it will work. This AIO, so this is a PC I ended up buying off of someone, like the 9600X. It had a different motherboard that obviously is fried, and then it came with this case and the AIO. So all you're gonna do with this specific one should be just place it down. Ah, there is something on here. And the question is, what is it? Because I don't remember what I used. So we might be using a different cooler, friends. Which kind of stinks, because that means I have to move this fan off. You know what? We're gonna just use a default, and I'll swap it out for you guys tomorrow. Responding to the fix-it response, not your question. Hold on, guys. I gotta do some thinking here, because I don't really want to put a stock cooler on here. But that might be what we're doing just to get this thing running, and maybe tomorrow I'll swap it over. All right, let me get the mount stuff, because I don't think this attaches. No, you know what? I can't even do a stock cooler because I have to take these fans off no matter what. Dang. All right, so we are going into surgery mode here. That's all right. We'll make it work. I'm going to pull you guys up. Stop kicking this camera really quick. Oh, we're going to have to do something unfun really fast. I should be able to leave that CPU paste on the 9600X. I'm going to have to wipe this off here. And we're going to put in a 240 millimeter AIO instead. Let me drop you guys down so you can see this a little better. All right, there. Okay, so we're going to have to remove these fans really quick. I didn't think I was going to have to do that, but I haven't used this in a long time, so we're going to have to remove this fan really quickly. So I'm going to take all the screws out, and we're going to put in a different set. This is what happens when you build with used components and things of that nature. It almost never goes very smooth. And also, I'm just a terrible planner, you know. Planning is not my strength whatsoever. This is why I also fully expect Buddy to destroy me on Thursday. He is a much better PC builder than I am. Significantly more talented than I am. Why aren't you using the 360 AIO? Maybe I missed it. I don't have the connection for it. I don't remember what it is. I know that I had stuff for it at one point, but I don't know where I put it. So, don't know where it went. And I'm not going to make you guys wait while I search my very messy office for it. So, we're going to use a 240 millimeter because I know what that attaches to. I think this used some special connection though. Yes, Peaky, I apologize that it's taking me a while. I will get to showing you the power supply. I do have, actually, you know what? At some point I'll just have to do a full video where I step-by-step explain building a PC. And maybe I'll just have to do it with new parts, because used parts is like the wild, wild west for me personally. It is literally the wild, wild west. Also, if you've never removed a fan or anything of that nature, this is basically what I'm doing. So I'm also going to show you, like, when I bought this PC, it was not in the greatest condition. You guys might be able to see some of this. Where's this plugged in? Oh, it's not, okay. So like you can see, the person that had this before me was a smoker. If you think that smoking doesn't do anything to your PC, you're like sorely mistaken. It does a lot. So took that out. We're gonna go ahead and put a 240 millimeter in, but first I do need to put in these stock AM4 mounts. So let's go ahead and do that. Sorry for all the noise you guys are getting back there. I see, I know all about that stuff. I'm going through it after moving yourself. Yeah, it's a challenge. So in order to get the cooler I'm going to use on, we have to put these stock mounts. These are what come on AM5 and AM4 motherboards. Unfortunately, I don't remember which way it goes. I want to say it goes out with it facing out. Is that right? Maybe it's not right. Maybe it's not right. Maybe it does have to go in. Yeah, it seems like it has to go in. Okay. Here, I guess I can show you guys what I'm doing real quick. Right? Does this not go on here? No. Come on, man. This isn't fitting because of the VRMs. This motherboard won't take this? Dude, all right, I guess we're using a stock cooler anyway. Oh my gosh. Here, let me show you guys so you're not just wondering like what I'm doing or why I'm just randomly saying words here and not able to do anything about it. Okay, so with this motherboard, these usually go on to attach the specific other AIO cooler that I'm getting. And normally they have to go in and fit in this space here, but it doesn't fit because this is all so tight, which is very strange. I didn't expect it to do that on this kind of motherboard. I guess they assume that you're not going to be using a stock cooler, or yeah, you wouldn't be using these mounts. So we're going to be using a plain Jane stock cooler on this thing. Hopefully it works. We're just going to use one of these. It should be okay in the 9600X. I'm going to have to figure out, I'm going to have to get a new cooler for it before I give it away in December. So that kind of stinks, but these are easy to put on. You just take these and screw them in to the screw holes right here. Flip it. Yes, the clip goes outward. Yeah, I tried. Even with the clip going outward, it doesn't matter. It doesn't fit. I tried both ways. And it doesn't fit because of this right here. It fits on the other side. Well, I thought it did. Yeah, it's not fitting in here. It fit this way, which is why I said I think it goes in this way. In fact, I think the other cooler that I have, no, you're right, it is supposed to go the other way. So I don't know why. These are AM4, AM5, aren't they? I thought all AM4 and AM5 was the same. So we're going to use the stock cooler for now because I can't do it. I don't have a better answer. Let's go ahead and zoom you guys back out a little bit. And bring you over here. All right, so this thing just goes in here and screws into the back plate. Like so. I've talked about these before, I'm terrible at them, but all you do is just screw down a little bit at a time on one side, and then you go diagonally from it. Sorry, my head's in the way there. So I assume that they expect this kind of motherboard to use like a more high-end cooling of some kind, because what I did obviously was not working. I'm gonna have to figure out, or you know what, I'll just figure out where the actual attachments are for this AIO and use that. But that's gonna remove some of the fans that we had on here, which is kind of unfortunate, but we'll make it work. All right. And then once you've got them all actually in, you're supposed to just tighten a little bit at a time. gosh. This is why I hate these. Because you could do that. And it might not screw in all the way, and then one side will come popped off. All right, here we go. Attempt number 2. I need more thermal paste anyway, so let me get some of that. Where did I put it? See, you guys, this is why used parts can be more challenging. Where did I put the thermal paste? If you just build brand new, you avoid a lot of this, but you also pay way more money. So more thermal paste, that should be enough. All right, now back to actually putting the fan on. All right. This is gonna be so bad. Buddy is just gonna destroy me on Thursday, friends. He's going to absolutely demolish me. There we go, we should be in there now. A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Is that actually in on that side? It always gets me, man. Every time something doesn't go all the way in. For the liquid freezer water coolers, you need to remove the plastic brackets indeed. What do you mean plastic brackets? Yo, Brian, what's going on, man? You guys, if you don't know, Brian's the one that actually gifted us this motherboard. So everybody say thank you, Brian. He's an awesome guy. Very, very amazing person. So we're very grateful for that. And whoever wins this PC will also be very grateful for it. So, all right, we officially have the stock cooler on now. So we've taken care of that. Get these out of the way so I don't lose them. No, it's an AM4. It's definitely an AM4. I thought all AM4s fit, but it did not. I can't get you guys in to see this better. I might need to turn it or something. Maybe that'll help. Yeah, that might help you guys. Okay, so at this point, we now have the cooler, we have the RAM, we have the CPU, and the NVMe on. From here, you have a few different options. Usually I will attach the case fan headers and things. AM4 fits AM5. Yeah, AM4 and AM5 are identical. You can pretty much do the same thing on all of them. But from here, we're going to go ahead and attach all of the case headers. So actually, I do need to turn it this way really quick because I can't see these. And I don't know where it is on this PC or on this motherboard. Whoa. This one is different. I'm going to show you guys this because if you've been building PCs a while, this might be odd to you. All right, guys. So let me see if I can bring you in here. Normally on this, it goes like all of them are in a direction and they stop like right here. On this particular one, maybe I'm just not very bright, which could be the case. This particular one here, you guys can't see the underneath part either. It's a lot more spread out. Where's my finger? It's a lot more spread out than normal, so it's kind of weird. Let's go back to this. All right. So this is the part where you're attaching the case headers, like the power and that kinds of thing. So when you push the button, it comes on. So where does it say it is? Maybe in the middle it's something different. This is so I have not worked with motherboards of this level before, so it could be that too. Okay, so that's supposed to be power, and power LED goes on the other side. Okay, what is this? HDD LED. Okay, that goes down there. And what's this last one? Is this the reset? Yeah, reset switch. And reset. Cool. So that will enable us to actually push the power button and get it to turn on. Oh, I'm out of breath, friends. From here, we're just gonna flip this bad boy up and I will plug in the rest of the cables that way. And you guys will be able to see a little better. So let's bring your vision up some. Scoot you back a little bit. Sorry, these are a little rough sometimes, friends. I don't always have like the best planning, as I mentioned already. So some of the builds just kind of end up being what they end up being, which, you know, is potentially just more realistic. If you were to go out and buy, I guess I need to stop this. If you were to go out and buy like actual parts to it, yeah, you said that. You liked this one. If you were to go out and buy like actual parts, it'd be a lot cleaner. Everything should fit together, ideally. But yeah, so continue on with mounting everything. This has a Type-C plug into it. It's also very open, so you can like easily plug things into it. I think this went through here. Was this it? I think it goes in here. I could probably bring you in a little bit too. Is it the same one? No, you're good, man. So there are usually a couple different like things that you're gonna plug in from the case to the actual motherboard. Usually you'll have like a USB, the case header itself, so that'll be like power. That'll give you lights to the case. It'll give you like access to the reset. Usually there will be a USB plug-in, so that's almost always on the side of the motherboard over here. I guess I need to go this way in case I ever do put fans in this. Normally this slot, and I used to have some, is designated for fans, so I do need to remember that. So this is a USB. I actually did order a new case. I might put this build that I'm giving away into that new case, because this one has some damage on it, and even though it is a really cool case, I might want to come in from a different slot. That's really pinched. Even though this is a really cool case, it's got like just damage from the previous owner, so let's go ahead and come in from up here. Maybe that'll be a little better. Yeah, that might work. It's not working any better at all, friends. All right, so there's the USB, and also there usually be HD audio that will come in as well. So is there anything underneath here? Can I go underneath? We're gonna go underneath the motherboard. HD audio goes down here, I believe, right? Yeah, front audio right here. Plug that in. I think that's everything case-wise, except for this. What is this? LED switch. Oh, that, I don't know where it actually goes. Someone smarter than me can help me out there, because I think the LED switch usually will go into a controller, but some of these should have an actual LED spot. You might be able to plug this into an RGB as well. I might try that actually. Let's see if we can get away with that. I've never tried that before. Usually the LED switch is like plugged in somewhere else, right? Or does this go down there? Does the LED switch go into the where the fan headers go? Someone help me out there. Nice gigabyte motherboards include a quick connector adapter called a G connector, so the front panel has room for it. Oh, okay. I think this might go down here, so let's try that. I don't love this arrangement. I should have gone underneath, but you live and you learn. I'm gonna try it right here. I guess the question is it gonna work? We'll find out. If it doesn't work on the colors, although there's not really anything to tell if there's colors, because this fan is gonna be the only thing that has any colors on it. All right, we're gonna plug this in over here because we're not gonna have very good cooling for this thing, but that's okay. And the, so not only is do we not have any fans with any colors except for this one here, we're not gonna have a cooler with colors either. So we're gonna be in a weird spot here, guys. I guess I need to thread this down here and then go into the fan, because we're gonna have to put the 3060 Ti over that. Yeah, this is a weird layout. But anyway, we're gonna make it work. This is the CPU fan. All right, this is ugly. This is not looking great. Okay, Peaky, are you still here? If you're still here, I will go ahead and show you a power supply. It's a very easy, actually let me put the 3060 Ti in really quickly so you can see that, because that's gonna be a part of it. Normally, I always advise you guys, don't do it the way I'm about to do it, but I don't feel like lowering this again, so. Don't do it the way I'm about to do it, but I don't care right now. Quick connector adapter called a G connector. I think I've seen those. Okay, so graphics card, we might have to pull this in this way. And go right here. Right, come on. There we are. Okay, that should be in there. Take our screwdriver. Again, I don't recommend that you ever put anything in like this because you could damage it and it could snap the PCIe bridge. But for the sake of time here and not having to move the camera again, I am doing it. So please don't judge me. Make sure it's actually all the way in. You're here, Peaky, awesome. So I'm gonna show you how to do this really quickly. This is a lot easier and a lot smoother than all the other things I've been doing because I'm, again, not the greatest PC builder in the world, but we do what we do. So let me get a couple screws for this power supply really quick that I know will fit. All right, grab a couple more. This one will fit. And also, I've talked about this before, but the pressure of being on a live stream and doing this live does make it a little different because normally it would just be like, all right, I'm gonna do this and you'll put it together, it is what it is. Okay, so this particular power supply gets mounted on the back here, so I'm gonna show you that really quick, and then I'll show you how to pull the cables through and all that kind of stuff. So this one, I do like this feature here. This gets mounted on this back side here, and it goes in right here. I forget what way is actually optimal. I think it's, you want to go the fan out on this one. Is that right? That'll work. Okay. All right, so again, we're mounting the power supply into the side here. Like I said, it is a kind of a cool feature. It is a cool case, but I don't know if I want to give this out because it does have some damage on it. Stay there, power supply. And I would feel bad. Although it is a free PC and it does have really nice components to it, so maybe, you know, if someone were to win this, they wouldn't really care. I don't know. That's not the screw I wanted. Why are there other screws in here? What did these go to? Oh, those go to the AIO fan. Losing my mind here, friends. All right, here we are. The Panda build, yep. You can't even see the damage. It still is a really nice case. I mean, it is a cool case. It really is. If I were to use this one, I probably would order just another dust protector for the top, and then, I don't know, maybe just clean off the panel part where there's some damage. Okay, so Peaky, I'm gonna show you here really quickly how to plug in the power supply, and also if you had to, how to remove it. That way it's not so intimidating. I'm gonna move this out of the way. So we've got some more space over here. All right, now that we're all plugged in there, so when you're building this power supply or you're building the computer here, again, I talked about there's three important cables. There is a CPU cable. A lot of times they'll have this labeled. That's gonna go to the top left. We have a motherboard cable. This is a 24 pin. That's gonna go on the middle right. And then we have a graphics card cable. Now, depending, if you're getting a 9070 XT, it's probably gonna require 3 of these. So you need to make sure whatever power supply you purchase comes with 2 cables like this. Each one should have 1 and 2. So we're gonna turn the PC around And we're going to plug in the cables. And we'll appreciate even with a few uglies on it. I mean, that's true. I like that approach. Okay, bring you guys up just a hair here. All right, so we're going to do the motherboard cable first. That goes in right here. For the sake of this build, I don't really care. Like I said, normally there'd be fans here, so limit this. Actually, you know what? I could still just come in through the back. So you want to wire it through, and cable management is a different video. If you want to learn how to do that, I can help, but it's not my strength. Oh, come on. So this 24-pin cable, I'm going to show you really quick. Hold on. This 24-pin cable goes in right here. Sorry, my wife is texting me. Is it true that it's way worse than DLSS and worse than ray tracing? If you're using DLSS, yeah, I mean, it's obviously not DLSS, they use FSR, but what did you say you had before? Okay, so this, the connector pin, whatever this thing is called, goes on the outside. So I do it like this and then flip it over and plug it in. And when you're plugging it in, you have to make sure that you actually use enough force that it goes all the way in, because sometimes they'll be a little loose and that can cause damage to your computer over time. Next, we're going to do the CPU. So I'm going to route that through the top up here. Normally it'd be really difficult because there'd be fans up here. Let me zoom you guys back out really quick. Teach you cable management? No way, dude. Not in this video, at least. Normally there'd be a fan up here in the top, which would make this really difficult. But because we don't have a fan, it's actually a breeze. You're going to take and plug in. This motherboard has two. I've never known that it really matters. Someone else can correct me, but I just plug into, again, this pin thing goes on the top. Here, let me make sure you can see that. This thing right here, that's going to go into the top end. So plug that in right there. If I can get it to go. I said that it doesn't matter. There we go. All right. And then lastly, we've got our GPU plugged in. So when you go to unplug your GPU, bring it down a little bit here. There will be, depending on what you had in there right now, a 3070. Dude, a 5070 versus a 9070, I think the 5070 wins. But still price-wise, I think the 5070 is more expensive. Okay, so the last thing, I don't know how many cables or how many pins the 3070 has, like if it's a 2/8 pin or what it is. The 5070 uses a 12 pin, so you'll have to make sure that you either get a mother or a power supply with a 12 pin, or I think some of them might use the 8 pin, it just depends. For this particular one, it's an 8 pin, same thing. This part will go in the top and just plug it in. If you were to do the reverse side, all you do is just grab these, push down on that pin and pull out. That's it. Push down on the pin and pull out. I don't know if that's a great angle for you to see that, so I'm gonna come up from above and let you look. So push down on this pin right here and then pull it out. Same thing with like the motherboard or anything else. If you're doing it from the motherboard, you will just grab where the pin is, and the motherboard's a little more difficult. Usually you have to kind of shimmy it a little bit, and it's hard because the camera's right behind me. Pull it out. And then when you go to put in the new one, same thing, you'll just plug it in. It won't let you plug it in the wrong way. So if you're concerned about putting it in the wrong direction, you cannot. But at least that's what I'm aware of. Someone might correct me and say you can, and maybe you can. Path tracing is a lot heavier on AMD cards. Yeah, it's not great. Path tracing is not as good, but if you get the 9070 XT, then you're sitting like amazing. That's an amazing card. Hold on, guys, I need a drink here. Are you building a PC as a practice for Thursday to not get beat? Buddy's gonna beat me. Buddy's gonna beat me no matter what. I have Zero expectation of winning. Okay, guys. I think that's everything. So now the moment of truth. We're going to pull everything back here. And, oh wait. We're going to pull everything back here really quickly and see if it starts. I'm giving this, I'm going to give this a, I would say a 90% chance of starting. I'm pretty confident this one's going to be okay. Watch this be like a no-go. I actually probably should also, what are you guys saying? AMD GPUs are not as strong in ray tracing and path tracing as NVIDIA. Yeah, I mean, anybody that tells you get a 5070 over a 9070 XT is losing their mind. Like, it's so nice. I had both. I had a 5070 and a 9070 XT. And the 5070 is just such a nice, or the 9070 XT is such a nice card. Don't give you too much credit. Yeah, right. Has no two fans, so it won't fit into my case. Yeah, if you can't fit it, then that's a problem. All right, so we are going to plug in to the wall and see if we get any power out of this thing. So first question, does it power? And then I will make sure that it posts as well because we had, actually, let's go ahead and do that really quick. Because we had the bent socket pins on the other one, I do want to make sure I haven't damaged the 9600X. So let me put that up here. Let me get my monitor up here really quick. And then I have to text my wife back here in a minute because she's telling me to do things. And if you've ever been married, don't go very long without doing what your wife tells you to do, or you won't be having a good time. All right, here's our monitor. And here's this cable. Okay. So, oh, yeah. That was not what I wanted to do. So 90% certain that this thing is going to post. You guys are all crooked here. Whether it's going to show on the screen, though, I'm not sure. So if you guys want to put your predictions in there, I'm going to say 90%, and we're gonna try and power this thing up. All right, guys, here we go. Oh, I'm out of breath. Okay, my hair all crazy? Maybe it is. All right, if you see a light on here, that means the PC is started. If this fan starts to spin, which I'm not sure you guys will be able to see that, it started. If this fan over here spins, that means it started. So 3, 2, 1. Oh, it booted up. We did it. What? What is that? What is that? I don't even understand what that number is. Someone tell me what this is. Someone smarter than I am. What's this on the motherboard right here? What is that number? Oh, yeah, it works. But the better question is it going to post? Did we damage that 9600X? This one does have lights too. Boot DRAM, we're on VGA. Hasn't posted yet. So, oh, is it about to post? Peaky Steve, there's a Sapphire Pulse 9070X which has 2 fans. Okay, it's training memory. Yeah, I think so. Memory training, diagnostic code. Has it posted yet, you guys? It looks like it's trying to. Dude, this motherboard is sick, Brian. Holy cow, this thing is sweet. I like it. I don't know if we're gonna get a post though. Is it giving me a light here? It is stuck on VGA. What does it mean if it's on VGA? Doesn't that mean it's already gone through memory training? Got some bad luck sometimes. Sometimes I do. I think it'll start. I think it is memory training because the fans are still going crazy. And usually, like if you've done this enough times, you'll know that the fans are like an indicator that it's going through memory training. Or, you know, like I said, I could have fried that 9600X, which would really stink because those are not cheap. But I'm assuming it's memory training. Wait, yeah. Yeah, I assume it's just going through memory training right now. Taking a long, long time. I can't tell if this is lit up or if it's just the RGB from the fan. I wonder if I just unplug it really quick. Yeah, it's the RGB from the fan. Don't do this, by the way. Oh. Where does this go? There we go. Oh yeah, does this LED key work? No. No, it doesn't. So clearly that was the wrong spot. Oh no, man. Something had to have happened. There's no way it's... The memory training takes so long on AM5. It's so terrifying. Motherboard did work for my buddies, the Ryzen 7600. Yeah, but AM5 memory training takes forever. It takes so long. I hope I didn't mess it up either. I didn't see any sign of damage on it. We're not on HDMI. Guys, I'm going to be so sad if I've damaged the 9600X. It'll be a very sad day. I'm still stuck on VGA, right? Yeah. Error code 00 typically means the system is failing to initialize the CPU or complete the initial post. Interesting. So we got it to turn on. For F. Hey, there we go. I just restarted it. We did it. Woohoo! I don't have a keyboard plugged in, so I guess I could plug in my keyboard and mouse real quick. Let's see here. Where is my keyboard? What did I do with it? Oh, it's over here. All right. We'll just make sure it can actually do something. And then we have successfully built a 9600X and 3060 Ti. Cool. So we didn't fry it. That's good to know. I don't know why I didn't boot that first time. Yay, yeah. Recheck and restart, yeah. I had that, I forgot to change my display to DP. I was so scared your PC was broken when you got it. Dude, it's the worst. It's the worst. Oh, okay. Well, let's just reset it then. Are we going to load all the way up? What are we looking like here? It's giving us so many things. Does this help you guys? That doesn't help you guys. Bring the keyboard? I don't understand. Well, now it's going back to not loading. Ugh. It should be working. AM5 has always given me so many problems, you guys. Every time I've tried to build with it, it's the worst. It takes forever. It's so slow. Yeah, there's no error code right now, so I don't understand why it's not on. I should just be getting a display right now. Ugh. AM5, friends, AM5. I wonder if there's an error code for 4F. What does 4F mean on? What does 4F mean on motherboard? DXE IPL has started. RAM training failure, unstable XMP, or corrupted BIOS. Well, it can't be. It shouldn't be any of those. That RAM is okay. And it doesn't get stuck on it. It only does it sometimes. What did you guys say the number was? It shouldn't be memory training because it already posted. So we're just having a problem going from the motherboard to... Oh, Star Trek. It's still cycling codes training? You think so? AM5 makes me so impatient. Everything else would... There we go. Why couldn't you just tell me that before? 100% there. Keep your computer on. Cool. I guess I should probably stand in front and speak a little bit or something because, you know, I want to at least make this part engaging for others. So, as I mentioned, as we're waiting on this thing to get started and get rocking and rolling, I'm actually going to give this PC away. I don't know what size storage is going to come in it because NVMe's are outrageous right now. It's probably going to be 512 gigs unless I find a really good deal on a 1 gig. That's what I'm expecting right now. It will come with 16 gigs of RAM. I'm not sure on the cooler. If I can find the mounts for that AIO, I'll put that back on there. You guys do seem to like this case though, so maybe I'll leave it in there. I mean, it's a massive case. I'll probably buy some fans and throw them back in over here. So it'll have 3 up there, 3 here. I probably won't put any down there. But yeah, there we have it. We got it to load up. So like I said, I'm going to be giving this PC away in December. If you're in the United States above the age of 18, my newsletter is actually free. And it costs me a lot of money to build these things. So if you do want to support, you can either support financially through the newsletter. All you have to do is sign up. If you want to do it for free, you can do it for free and you can still win. And whenever you win it, I'll ship it to you. Or if you also happen to live close enough, like the previous winner Brian did, I'll just drop it off to you if you're okay with that. But yeah, so it's free if you want to sign up. If you're above the age of 18 and you're in the United States, if you're out of the United States, I'm really sorry. You can still get the updates on what's coming out in the content and all that. But this is the PC. It may not have RGB RAM. It might be uglier DDR5 RAM. And I don't know what the storage is going to be, but it'll be this motherboard. It'll be a better cooler. And you guys seem to like the case, so I guess we'll keep the case. It's a cool case. So yeah, I do have the newsletter. Sign up. You guys can donate through there if you want to help fund these giveaways, or you can sign up for a YouTube membership where you get access to badges, emojis, that kind of stuff. So what's everyone saying over here? What is memory training? Memory training is when you stick new memory into a computer, it takes a while for it to understand what speed it is, what kind of RAM it is. So it takes a minute to acclimate to it, and the computer has to adjust. So like if you've built PCs for a really long time, when a computer is memory training, the fans will ramp up and they'll go max speed. And sometimes if you have a nicer motherboard, over here there will be a specific light on it that'll say like DRAM or something, and that will indicate that you're stuck in that. But yeah, that's the 9600X 3060 Ti. If you guys have questions right now about the build or anything, feel free to ask. Otherwise, tomorrow I'm going to test this out. I'll probably just leave the stock cooler on it for now, and if it gets really hot tomorrow, maybe we'll swap it out or something. But it is a cool looking build, huh? I guess I'll bring you guys in a little closer so you can see it. Let me drop this bad boy down. Sorry in advance. Sorry in advance. I know you guys are all over here. I know you're all over here, but I want to bring you a little bit closer. It's not a bad looking build, huh? I mean, the stock cooler is kind of ugly, but not a bad looking PC. Cool. Up we go. So yes, Tomorrow we will test this out. Doesn't it? It looks tiny. Tomorrow we will test this out, play some games on it, see what it can run. I probably won't have too many games on it just because I'm using the 512 gig SSD I've got on there and I don't have a ton of games on it. But yeah, we'll test it out, do some stuff. Anybody with any other questions? I don't think so. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and record an outro for the video, and then everyone can go on their merry way. Just needs a little bit of cable management. Cable management will happen before it goes out to somebody. It will 100% look much better than this before I send it out. I don't like cable management. It doesn't mean I can't do it. I'm aware this is a disaster. Anyway, yeah. Okay. Let's scooch you guys back here. Hey, thank you, Brian. Have a good day, man. Thank you again for the motherboard. You guys, that's the guy that I ended up trading for the 9070 XT or the 9070 XT2, and he was just like, here, let me give you this free motherboard. He's crazy. So you guys all say thank you, Brian. I'm going to go ahead and record an outro, and we'll all go on our way here. So that ended up being the 9600X and 3060 Ti build. We had a few bumps along the way, but like I said before, I'm going to be giving this build away on my newsletter. So it's free to subscribe. You can win the PC as long as you're over 18 and in the United States. You can financially support through there though. There's a membership for $5 a month, or you can just donate however much you want at any point, and you'll still be entered to get the PC too. So check that out. I do have YouTube memberships now for $5 to financially support the channel. We do a lot of giveaways, a lot of tech reviewing, and PC building, testing kind of stuff on here. So if you're interested in that, again, consider supporting. But yeah, we built a PC. Tomorrow we'll play some games on it. Hope you've enjoyed this. We'll catch you in the next video. Glad it worked. Thank you.